Now, when you're the president's professor at Arizona State University, that's a pretty big deal, for crying out loud. And you teach meteorology, that's a big deal, particularly in this part of the country. But when you start predicting things, then all of a sudden you become a clairvoyant and one of those. Randy Cerveny, offer us your prediction near and far for what we can expect here in Arizona.
Well, hopefully you won't burn me at the stake or anything, but I'm afraid that the two words for this summer are looking to be hot and dry. That the monsoon, particularly in New Mexico, if you want to have thunderstorms, it's looking like New Mexico is not going to have them. We have a little bit better chance for having a few of our normal thunderstorms, but it's not looking like anything that's going to be super powerful or super wet.
Okay, but in normal thunderstorms, are you talking about monsoons?
Yeah. And we normally get about 2.5 inches of rain in our monsoon months of June, July, August, and September. We're probably not going to hit that 2.5 inches this summer. And if we don't have the storms, what that means is the sun shines down, and we're probably going to have above normal temperatures for those months.
And also less water.
And also less water because evaporation takes place.
It seems to me that when you're talking about the abundant amounts of water and the deluge that takes place every hour and a half in California, and that's unusual for those folks over there, the flash floods just sweeping properties and cars away. It just seems like we're close enough to California, we should get some of that, but it doesn't happen that way.
It doesn't happen. The problem is that between coastal California and us are a lot of mountains. And those mountains really drain that water so that by the time it gets all the way here into Arizona, it's like taking a dishcloth and having wrung it completely out. We still have the dishcloth when it gets over here, but there's very little water left in it.
Okay, all right. But when we depend on liquid for life in this part of the state, it often is as a result of the snowpack in the north. So what's the forecast for the north? Are they going to get plenty of snow, maybe helping us ease up our need for water?
Well, I wish that we were going to have a winter that was like our last couple. We had two really good winters, and one of them was a big surprise 2 years ago. This winter looks like it's going to be one of our normal winters, meaning dry, that the storms are going to stay up in Oregon and Washington. They're not going to be down here in California and Arizona. So if you're looking for a good snow season, particularly for skiing or something, you're not going to have it. If you're looking for the snow to help alleviate the drought this winter, probably not going to have it.
You're not like those TV weather guys that offer us kind of fun, good news and happy times. You didn't come in with a whole lot of good news, at least for the immediate period of time ahead. And how immediate is an outlook?
Well, when we're talking weather, we can forecast using our computer models, and they're the best in the world, our weather computer models now, about 2 weeks into the future. And you go beyond 2 weeks, and it's a different set of equations, a different set of mathematical equations that are a little fuzzier. They aren't quite as precise as what we use for the short-term 2-week weather forecast. And so our, what we call outlooks, we don't even use the word forecast, for stuff that's beyond 2 weeks, isn't quite as precise. We still claim, the National Weather Service still claims about 70% accuracy with our outlooks. With our weather forecasts, we're up to about 94% accuracy.
So looking into the distant future is not something that you agree should be done by meteorologists.
Well, you always have to take it with a grain of salt, I'm afraid.
Okay, so now we're into the world of chefs and seasoning. So I'll tell you what, sprinkle a little good news somewhere in Arizona. Is anybody going to have a good time this summer?
Well, the good news is that I could be completely wrong. 2 years ago, we were under the same kind of situation, a La Nina, a cold patch in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. And normally, La Nina, like we're forecasting for this winter, means dry. But 2 years ago, Mother Nature decided to pay absolutely no attention to that and dumped a lot of rain and snow on Arizona. So the good news is I could be completely wrong.
Of course, that is impossible because he's a guest here on CW7, where we tell you nothing but the truth.